Hey everybody, how y'all doing? In this episode, I wanted to talk about faith in Jesus Christ and taking it one day at a time and how it correlates. As I said earlier in other episodes, I pray twice a day, sometimes 3 times, sometimes 4 times. I pray however many times that I need to pray. I prayed going down the road. I prayed while I was in the restroom. I've prayed small, short prayers while I was walking. But what it boils down to is when I pray, I have faith that Jesus Christ is going to get me through this situation that I'm in, this particular decision I have to make, this road that I have to take. I have faith that He is going to get me home safely and to get me back to my wife and kids. And then when I get back there and there's other decisions that needs to be made, I've got faith in Him that He will answer my prayers. And He does for the most part. You know, I don't pray for things that I don't need. I don't pray to be a millionaire. I don't pray for the nice fancy car or anything like that. I pray that His will be done in my life, whatever His will is. The only thing that I do pray for a lot is for Him to show me which direction I need to go. When I first got sober, I wasn't thinking about my 35th year of staying sober. As a matter of fact, that was the least part on my mind. I wanted to stay sober for that day. And then I got up the next day, I want to stay sober that day. And you had to take this one day at a time, because, even in some instances there for a very long time, I was taking it 1 hour at a time. I mean, I know when I first come out of the hospital, I was, when I first got home, was getting ready to go back to work, and even whenever I went back to work, I started throwing up. This is while I was building the guardrails to try to keep me sober. I was doing everything possible to keep me sober, but my faith in Jesus Christ was the number one thing that I was doing to keep sober. I done that first, and then I put the guardrails up to make sure that I didn't do wrong in that. Because, you know, when you turn your life over to Christ, He wants you to depend on Him. And I do depend on Him. And so the Lord was the first thing. And I always had faith that He would carry me through to the end of the day. And I remember, you know, my first day back at work, nobody really said a whole lot to me. There wasn't nothing said out of the way. They didn't ask me, you know, how was your stay in the hospital, or, you know, we're glad you're sober, or anything like that. Nobody said anything. And I appreciated that, because that let me know that they was comfortable, but yet they was apprehensive about how to address me, because they wasn't sure. And I'm sure there was some reservations, and I'm sure my wife had reservations. Actually, I know she did, because she wasn't sure if I was going to stay sober or not. It was one of those things, waiting to see. But I had completely turned my life over to Christ, and I was determined, 100% determined, 150% determined that I was going to do everything it took to stay sober, because I wanted to be a good father for my kids, and I wanted to be a good husband to my wife, a kind of husband she deserves. And she deserves a lot better than what she got. And I understand that. And I've told her as much, because she does deserve more than what she got. But whenever you're never too far gone. I mean, you know, if you're an alcoholic now, and you're treating your wife bad, or you're treating your husband bad, or you're treating your kids bad, or you're treating your mother or your father bad, and you know it's wrong, and if you're drunk while you're doing it, you know it's wrong, and you know you really don't think about the pain that you're causing them. And it's not physical pain. I'm talking psychological pain. The physical pain, I'm sure there is some of that, but the psychological pain really can last for decades, and it's something that is very hard to get over. And you know, the psychological part of, you know, my wife, she, bless her, she was beside herself because I was taking the bill money and drinking with it. And she was working, I was working, but I was spending all the money so that I can drink and drug. And she had really tolerated a lot more than she deserved. I know she didn't deserve any of it, because she was just trying to, she wasn't the alcoholic, I was. So my actions flowed over and affected her, both physically and mentally. And they never really affected my kids at that time, because they wasn't old enough to understand that, that their dad had a problem. I think my son, he kind of thought I had a problem, but he wasn't old enough to actually recognize that it was a problem. He knew I drank, but he wasn't old enough to recognize that it was a problem. So what I do is I get up every morning. I pray every day for the Lord to give me direction, and the Lord to tell me what His will is for me in my life that day. And I let the chips fall where they may, and if a situation comes up that I think, okay, well, I need to make a quick decision here, I'll pray real quickly and try to make a quick decision. I hope it's the correct one, and I pray that I went the right direction that He wanted me to go. And most of the time it is the right direction that He wanted me to go. But as time has gone on and on and on, you start recognizing whether you're making good decisions and bad decisions. And I think that comes to the point of realizing, that you're growing mature, and you're basically getting it. But at the same time, you're still going to have the cravings, and you're still going to have to live your life one day at a time, because that part won't go away. It won't ever go away. I mean, if you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, you're always going to be an alcoholic or a drug addict. You may be in recovery, but you will always be there. I'm a alcoholic and an addict recovering. And when I introduce myself as that. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm a recovering addict, because it's something that you will always be. And it's not a brand. It's not nothing, but it's up here. You will always be that way. And it's just something, acceptance is a big part of it. And you have to pray for the Lord to come in your heart, or pray for the Lord to start directing your life again if you've turned your back on Him. And if you've turned your back on the Lord and you're cold and indifferent, you can't function that well. I mean, you think you're functioning, but really you're not, because if you have stepped back from the Lord ain't left you. You've left Him. And you need to find your way, in my opinion, you need to find your way back to Him. Because I got to be honest, there's no other place I would rather be than have Jesus Christ in my heart, because I know He's there. And as a matter of fact, the reason I'm sitting here talking to you all, and I'm not a podcaster, I'm not a preacher, I'm not trying to be either one of them. I'm not trying to be famous, I'm not trying to be anything. But I want this ministry, or this, if you can call it a ministry, I don't know if I would call it that or not, but the word's kind of handy, but at the same time, I'm not a preacher. And I haven't been ordained by Christ, but I am led by Christ. And I will try to teach people what I know about Christ and how my life works with Christ in it. And maybe they can pick up on it, or maybe they can change their ways, or maybe they can adjust the way they do things. I don't know. I don't really know why I'm here, but I just know that the Lord put this on me several months ago, and it was really heavy. And I've had someone ask me, why are you doing it? I'm doing this because Jesus Christ wants me to do it. And Jesus Christ deserves all the glory and all the credit for me sitting right here in front of you all. And I don't take none of the credit. It's not been me. I mean, I'm a piece of crap. And I don't deserve to live. I don't deserve anything. I don't deserve nothing but hell and the grave. But Jesus has had mercy on my life, and I want to do everything I can for Jesus, because Jesus is the reason. And I've actually heard people say, you know, everybody can talk about God, but nobody knows what to do with Jesus. And, you know, everybody talks about the Holy Trinity. Well, in my mind, the Holy Trinity is one. And that's just the way that I think about it. But my recovery starts every morning whenever I get up. I'm still in recovery, and I'm going to be in recovery for the rest of my life. And that's exactly the way that I will look at it for the rest of my life. And that's the way you should accept it for the rest of your life. And start living your life for Christ and let Christ do the driving. Because he will not go wrong with you if you will just follow him. I hope you appreciate this episode. If you want to, you can hit like and comment. And I don't know how to say all this junk, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you like what you're hearing and it helps you in any way, hit like and comment. Subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'm not trying to build up to make money. This is not about money. This whole thing is not about money. I want to spread the word as best I possibly can, because I know there are alcoholics out there who need help. And if you need help, you need to seek help. If you need professional help, you need to seek professional help. And you know which category you fall in. But if you like the channel, hit like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. You can email me at 35yearskept@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you.